Hi everyone, Coach Dale here, and today is ab day. Yes, we are going to be working that midline today to build a nice strong core, which is going to help us in practically everything that we do physically. So today's workout is a 18-minute EMOM, an 18-minute EMOM, and what the EMOM stands for is every minute on the minute. So at the start of every single minute, you're going to do one movement until it is done, hopefully within that minute. So if you finish it before a minute is up, you get to rest for the remainder of that minute. So for example, we're going to do 21 V-ups, and I'll explain what a V-up is later, but 21 V-ups in the first minute. If you finish that in 40 seconds, well, guess what? You get to rest for the next 20 seconds till the next minute starts. Once the next minute starts, you will move on to the next movement. In this case, this is a 40-second hold of an upward dog pose. And I'll explain that too later. But anyway, so you kind of get the gist. So you'll go through we have 6 movements for you. You'll go through 3 times. Okay, so each movement gets its own dedicated minute. And I am going to demonstrate what all those movements look like coming up next. And I hope you have an awesome workout. All right, we're going to start off with 21 V-ups. So during this exercise, we are just basically folding our body in half as we come up. And things to note are not only are you just pulling your legs off the ground, but you're also pulling your back off the ground too. So you're coming up on your glutes as you fold yourself in half. Strive to keep your legs as straight as possible as you fold in half, but you can scale this by bending your knees a bit more as you come up. Okay. After that's done, we're going to go into a 40-second upward facing dog pose. So what you want to do is make sure that it's not your toes pressing into the ground, but the tops of your feet are pressing into the ground. Your thighs squeeze, and as you press your chest up and bring your head up, your thighs and hips should be well off the floor. I want you to focus on that space between your collarbone to pull that space up and away from you basically as you pull that chest through. All right, so this is upward facing dog. You're going to hold this for 40 seconds. At the end of the 40 seconds, you can come down into all fours and then maybe go back into a child's pose for the remaining 20 seconds. At least that's what I would do until the next pose. Now, if that upward facing dog is a little bit too tough for your back, maybe you don't have the mobility to do it. I don't even have that great of mobility, but you can always go into a cobra pose, where what you will do now is also tops of your feet into the floor, squeezing those thighs, and press the chest up. But notice my arms are bent. My arms are bent here, and my thighs are still on the floor. Okay, so that's a little bit gentler way of doing this particular exercise. All right, and you can finish it off with a child pose again for that 20-second rest before we go into our hollow rocks. With the hollow rock, I'm going to lay back and get full extension of my arms and legs. And then what I want to do is take my upper back and my legs off the ground into that hollow position. We're trying to round the low back, the very low part of the back, and then just rock back and forth like this on our low back. So keep that low back pressed into the floor so it doesn't get too clunky. If we want to scale this, we can go all the way to getting into a full ball. So pull that upper back off the ground, grab your shins, and you can rock back and forth in this ball position. To make it a little bit harder, you can stick one leg out and even one arm out. Remember, press that low back into the floor and round it so you can get this nice rounding, rocking motion here. We don't want it to be clunky. I don't want you to hurt your back. Okay, so you can do different variations to make it harder or easier. After our hollow rocks, you're going into our 40-second left side plank. So we're going to get on our forearm, on our elbow, okay, and then you're going to lift your side off the ground. Notice my foot is on top of the other, so we don't want those both feet contacting the ground. Only your left foot is on the ground here as your hip is off the floor. Once we get off that, we're going into our plank push-ups. So you start in a nice strong plank and then drop down to your forearms and then back up again, and that's 1. Down to your forearms, back up again, that's 2. So we're going to do 9 of those plank push-ups. So the last thing that we're going to go into is now the right side plank. So again, we're going to roll onto that right forearm now and right elbow, and we're going to pull that hip off the floor, hip and thigh off the floor, and notice that now my left foot is on top of my right here. So both feet should not be on the ground, and that is today's workout. All right, that's our workout today. So I want to be totally clear here on how this EMOM thing works, okay? So each of the 6 movements get their own dedicated minute. Whether it takes a minute to get through them or not, like some of the planks are only 40 seconds, but just because you finish something before the minute doesn't mean you go right to the next movement, okay? You'll wait until the end of that minute. So 57, 58, 59, 60, then you go to the next movement, okay? So just want to be really clear about that, because it just seems like every time one person doesn't quite get it and they just move through all the movements really fast and finish this in a lot less than 18 minutes. So 1 minute dedicated per movement, okay? Cool. Also, it might help to have, or it does help to have a stopwatch, a timer of some kind to keep track of your minutes here. I've included on this, below this video, a link for a WOD timer. WOD stands for workout of the day, and it has an EMOM choice on there, so that will count down your minutes. So and that one actually counts down, so you'll have to know that for 40 seconds you're going to stop your planks and that stuff at the 20-second mark, and then rest that remaining 20 seconds, okay? I'm sure you'll figure it out. It's cool, it like beeps and cues you on when to switch and all that stuff. Anyway, you guys have a great workout, and what was I gonna say to you? Stay healthy, stay strong. You guys are awesome. Have a great day.